And what I'm holding up here is probably the classic Atlantic salmon rod. I have a large arbor spooled reel. This particular one is made by Cortland, and it's loaded with 9-weight weighted forward floating line. So if you look at it in stores, the code for it is WF9F, weighted forward, number 9 weight floating line. And you can see the rod here is a precision made by Cortland, and it's also 9 feet long. Now this particular rod has a fighting butt. Most salmon fishermen, especially if they're going to be hooking larger salmon or planning on it, will choose a rod that has a fighting butt. Now one tip that I'll give you when it comes to picking a fly rod, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a quality fly rod, but make sure that you have a locking ring. So what I'm doing here, notice that I'm undoing one ring. You can see the reel seat actually locks in, is almost like a ring, and then I've got my second ring that's there. So a lot of reels will only come with one ring to lock the reel, and a lot of times when you're casting, that ring will come loose. It's very important that that's locked in tight, because I have seen people hook a fish and their reel fall off. Kind of embarrassing, and they'll probably lose the fish. The other thing, when you're making a lot of casts, because sometimes when you're salmon fishing, you're going to be making thousands of casts to find that one trophy fish. Every once in a while, you have to make sure that where your rod comes together is solid. So you got to push on it to make sure that it's tight. Because after casting for sometimes hours, the rod can actually slowly work its way out. Your first indication is when the guides don't line up, so you know that it's actually twisted. So the last thing you want is, again, to hook a fish and the rod to snap, because there's a gap in there. Very important that that furl is tight. So if you have the right gear, you check it every once in a while, you're probably going to land that fish of a lifetime. One thing about Atlantic salmon, they take really well, very exciting, especially when you see them on the surface, and also they come out of the water many times. So even though we were anchored here to fish the spot, I've just pulled the anchor, and who knows what's going to happen. This fish might jump again, throw the hook, or stay on. We're using long leaders. George suggested to go with about a 11 or 12 foot leader. This guy's right beside the boat. I'm trying to get him out. You're okay, Barb? Just take your time. Only when you're sure, Barb.
Okay.
You'll bring it right into the net.
Okay, so you just wait. When you see him head first, and hopefully we'll get him into the net. Okay, into the net. Good job. Okay, in the boat. Yes. Barbara, if you can keep him down near the center, this is perfect. You can see how much energy these fish have. They just roll and roll in the line. Now I'm going to show you. This fish has been in the river for a while. So he's a little bit darker colors. So you can see how he is, but still he had about 4 or 5 jumps out of him. You can see that nice kype that's on him right there. That's on the lower jaw. So Barb, what we're going to do is we're just going to put him back in the net. We're going to hold him so he gets some oxygen. And even though you can keep grills, we're going to let this guy go. Okay, look at this. You know, this water's so dark that they disappear real quick. You can see those spots, they look a lot like a brown trout. That's what it reminds me of. And I'm just going to extend them out. And come on, are you ready to go? I think he's going to swim right to the bottom. There he goes. Look at that. Beautiful.
Canadian sport fishing has been brought to you by Suffix, the world's most hardcore fishing line. Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Dickies. Guaranteed workwear since 1922. Lucky Strike. All you need is a Lucky Strike.
One of the common fish that you catch, whether you're fishing for salmon or for trout, is a brook trout. And they actually call them, Bart, if you want to swing it in. Okay. This is a small guy, but we're going to show the viewers. They call them the eastern brook trout because they're native to Labrador, Newfoundland, and the Maritimes. I'm going to hold this one up. Barb, isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
Oh, come here, come here. He actually threw the hook because we're using a barbless hook. I was going to show you the colors. Okay.
Maybe I'll get another one.
It was cute, yeah. You probably didn't see, you saw this little thing that was going like this. Okay, back to work.